Right, well, hello and welcome to Podcasting is Praxis. I'm David, and my pronouns are he and him.
Hi, I'm Jamie. My pronouns are he and him.
My pronouns are he and him. Fuck off, Rob.
Too late, motherfucker. Try again.
I'm doing
Too late. I've depicted myself as the Chad Jamie and you as the Virgin Rob. They're I
hope someone makes that image. I really hope someone makes that image, because I don't think anyone who's listening to this knows what you all look like, and I'm so curious about what they make.
Yeah, and joining us is Sinan.
That's right. Hi, everyone. Back
also,
at it
Alistair
again.
is here.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Alistair's here.
Yeah, special guest Alistair.
The quality of this intro reflects the quality of the subject matter quite well, if I might say.
I said that I was doing Rob's bit and promptly remained silent because that's what he does.
Do it now, yeah. Just come in like 5 minutes into the episode.
Right, fuck it. That's the intro now. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. We've made our bed and we'll now lie in it.
Everyone knows what's going on. It's like, you know, mostly he, him, but tonight we're 20% they, them, so...
That's it, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're treating this episode
podcast
with
is
as
now
much
in its
respect as this
exploratory
movie
phase.
treated history with.
So, a couple of weeks ago, David and me, had a long one of those chats about films where if you start Jamie, it's an hour and a half later all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it was fully on the topic of why Paul W.S. Anderson sucks shit.
Yeah.
And because of this, we
One of my autistic special interests.
I would like to enter into evidence. I would like to enter into evidence against that. Mortal Kombat 1995, a great film, a legendary film.
I want to be very clear. He has sucked shit since like the minute he finished Event Horizon.
yeah.
But yeah,
possibly even partway through Event Horizon. To be honest, that whole film's not great.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I like that film very much, to be honest. But for a lot of different
I do
reasons,
like it, but I like it in spite of itself. I think
it's batting above his fucking average. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Well, he's had unfortunately time to add to that. Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying you were building up to it, and I fucking interrupted you there. So
yeah, no. This all stemmed off me rewatching Alien vs Predator, which was also a bad idea, but at least simple enough to be like passable if you just accept it as an action figures slammed together film. And then obviously Jamie did the thing where he decided to go through every single inch of his fucking filmography to slate every single thing that he's fucking done. Deservedly. And we discovered that he was responsible for the 2011 film The Three Musketeers with a ridiculous cast.
So ridiculous.
And
Ridiculous is the word as well. Because like we've done a lot of episodes, or like cultural committees I should say, on films that are bad but have like an incredible cast and like, you know, less than the sum of their parts. This film has an incredible cast and also James fucking Corden.
Yeah, I didn't realise going in. When I saw him, I was like, oh no, this is in that period where he was in everything. Fuck.
Yeah, I specifically didn't. I showed David a picture of him when I got to that bit when I first watched it, and then we decided to keep it a secret. I assume the message in the fucking group chat at 5:46 where Alistair just went, fuck's sake, was when Corden first arrived on the scene.
Correct.
That's what I said. That's why I said I just got to the minute 35 where you can go fuck yourself, pal.
Yeah.
Hate to see that guy's face.
Bet you were hoping it was going to be one fucking scene and then he was out as well. But
I really was. I was hoping it would end when he gets shat on by that bird and then we never see him again, and that would have been fine. Because all that's happened is him being belittled and insulted. And that would have been great. It's what he deserves, really.
Watching James Corden be belittled and insulted is one thing, but it's another thing entirely to not have to think about or see him whatsoever.
But wait until I tell you about the film I want you to review for your 400th episode, Lesbian Vampire Killers, and how much you have to see him in that.
You heard it here first. Sinan's coming back for episode 400.
I mean, actually, I really would, because I saw that film in the cinema for free.
Jesus Christ.
And I still felt ripped off after watching it for free. So
I insist you refer to as in the Sinan Ma from now on. Well, that's my contribution for the evening. That's bye.
Yeah, Rob's got a long commute now, so he's got to go. So
right, okay. So the cast, James Corden and fucking Mads Mikkelsen together at last. Like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, it's and fucking Herman Goering from Inglourious Bastards. What's he called? Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz, who, like, I think is a phenomenal actor, and
great actor.
This movie, he did not deserve this movie being done to him whatsoever.
No. Neither did Big Ray for that part.
No, he's so much better than almost everything he's ever appeared in.
Yeah, at least to be fair, he did look in every single scene as if he knew how good it feels to just absorb a paycheck.
Yeah. No, he knows he always knows what he's fucking appearing in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
has the exact right fucking like level of competence for whatever it is he's doing. But yeah, it was great. It was like I said, there's Mads Mikkelsen, there's Christoph Waltz, there's fucking Big Ray Stevenson, there's your man from fucking I couldn't remember the name of it when I saw he was in it either.
Matt McFadden?
Yes. Yeah.
There was and also the guy who I kept confusing, and I thought Orlando Bloom was in the movie.
Yeah,
twice,
the second Orlando Bloom has hit the airship.
yeah. Luke Evans, like, Luke Evans just seems like, he seems like he's all right. Like, he's in fucking loads of stuff, and I don't remember any of it. Do you know what I mean? You just see him.
I could say he's all right, but he keeps reminding me of Orlando Bloom, so he's not all right.
Oh, right, how dare you? Orlando Bloom was fucking amazing in this film.
He was having a great time.
He just turns up and serves cunt the entire way through. What's not to like?
I mean, he is the king of fucking fits. That like the
the purple,
Teddy boy Orlando Bloom, just fucking swanning about the place, being as smarmy as fuck. I loved it, like.
And imagine what level of smug cunt you have to be to wear purple in front of the King of France. That was great. Yeah. I just love that bit.
I think this may be the second thing I've seen Ray Stevenson in other than HBO's Rome. So,
and he's the same character in everything. He is the same guy in everything he does. He is Polo every time.
Absolutely wasted on this film. Come on, like.
Yeah, and then also because it's a fucking Paul W.S. Anderson film, Paul W.S. Anderson's wife is in it as Backflips Lady. She does a lot of backflips. So like she is in all of his fucking films.
I was telling someone that I was watching this film for this, and they said, and I didn't tell them who the director was, and they looked it up and they guessed who the director was instantly because his wife was there. And I was like, okay, great, fantastic, and also apparently does just cast her in everything. I did look.
Yeah. She's in his most recent film with Dave Bautista. Where I assume she does backflips.
Yeah, it's basically writing films about how hot and badass your wife is for your whole career.
You've got to respect that, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
That's, I mean, this is a sort of cinematic level of wife guy that I can, abstractly get behind.
Yeah.
Look,
but
people
his
can
films are complete shit is the problem. Like, if he loved his wife, he'd make good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got no problems with someone who wants to make a film about how hot and incredible their wife is. I just wish they didn't have to A, inflict it on me, and B, like, inflict it also on Mads Mikkelsen, Christoph Waltz, Ray Stevenson, and, like, to a lesser degree, Orlando Bloom. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
It also has, just to like round out the cast, because that was like the other performance I kind of enjoyed, is Freddie Fox, who plays the King of France.
Yeah.
That's just like just a happy dipshit. And I was like, I'm going, although then weirdly enough, apparently he is cousin to Lawrence Fox.
Yeah.
No.
Which really freaks me out.
That does freak me out, because he doesn't seem hollowed out and dead inside at all.
No, his dad was quite alive and happy, actually.
Freddie Fox's dad was the good Fox.
I guess.
He's Edward Fox. He's Edward Fox's son, and Lawrence Fox is like James Fox's son, and everyone's just like, who? Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking... I don't remember seeing a James Fox in everything.
Yeah. No one remembers seeing a Lawrence Fox and everything either.
That's true.
Apart from Divorce Court.
I was really... I was really surprised when people told me he was an actor, because I really couldn't name anything he was in. I was like, this guy's an actor? Sure, I guess.
He was in The Hole in like 2004 or whenever that came out. You know, the one where the fucking kids find the abandoned World War II bunker and accidentally lock themselves in.
Oh, yeah. He's in that? Huh.
Yeah, he's the lad. He's the lad who gets beaten to death over a can of Coke.
Oh, well, that's okay.
2/3 of the way through the film.
I'm kind of okay with that.
At least one thing to recommend it.
Yeah, damn. I might have to check it out.
But you say like, oh, I don't remember seeing him in anything. For years, for like decades, I was labouring under the impression that film starred Paul Bettany having a really, really off day. So...
Should we make a fucking start on this 1 hour and 50 minutes slog of a fucking movie?
Yeah, so let's start with Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Well, it's a little bit of preface before this. It's the Three Musketeers. It is the fucking Three Musketeers. It's the Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, and then joined by young D'Artagnan. They fight evil Cardinal Richelieu on behalf of, the king, because the king is good. He just has bad advisors, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's the Three Musketeers. It's Alexandre Dumas. It's just done really fucking weird.
But what if though, right? What if it was directed by a guy who'd stayed up all weekend binging sugar and watching The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah, I was going to ask whether or not this came out before or after Guy Ritchie's Sherlock, because it has a lot of that action vibe.
Oh, that's a good question. I think before.
I think before. Alicia Bates, listener.
No, 2 years after.
Wow.
Oh, no.
What we did there was make the mistake of attributing originality to Paul W.S. Anderson.
Well, I wasn't, because I thought he was just ripping off League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but... Because the bit at the start where they're explaining how Europe's a powder keg and a great war could happen at any minute is literally just like the fucking plot of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
And also how evil the Cardinal is.
And also, what is it? Is it also The King's Man? Or which other movie? There's loads of movie that features jewelry that has to be like, that can stop world wars or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because as we know, that's the cause of wars, is
jewelry
is.
I will say one thing about this movie. It doesn't end with Lenin and Hitler shaking hands, so it has that in its favour.
That fucking post-credit scene,
actually, if I'm fairly honest with you.
That post-credit scene is the only thing from those films I've seen, because I saw it on YouTube, and it blows my mind every time that they introduce Hitler like he's a Marvel villain. Like,
it was so fucking funny when we watched that. Yeah, here's David sighing because he knows what's coming. Because we got to that bit, and I just casually mentioned, that like we'd seen Hitler before when he killed the Romanovs. And David went back looking through the film, and then when you just heard him, he heard his soul leave his body when he realised it was Hitler that machine gunned the Romanovs in that film.
Oh no!
You can't take a W away from the people like that.
But I'm in awe of just introducing Hitler like a Marvel villain. That is that almost got me to watch the films, but I was like, this may be too much. It may be too much for me.
Film is so fucking bad as well.
Yeah. Never again.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this movie, which is, again, the Three Musketeers, if you've just done, a lot of cocaine, basically.
Yeah. It's Wikipedia describes it as the Three Musketeers with clock punk elements.
Which I have to be honest, I don't really understand why you needed to have that in the film at all. It doesn't make, what's going on?
So it's 17th century, more or less, But also apparently nations have like strategic reserves of hydrogen/helium, which
no, only the English. Man. Only the English have it. For some reason, this is a universe where England is technologically advanced, which I find very confusing on its face. But
managing to like extract, hundreds of meters cubed of helium from the Earth using solely clockwork power, because we haven't invented steam yet.
You say that it could have came from the moon. We actually don't fucking know.
The other thing that runs through this film, vibes-wise, is that I get the feeling that like someone involved, like in the effects department maybe, or second unit, had played a shitload of Total War. Because there's constantly like shots of maps with little figures on and like fucking troops arranged everywhere and all this, you know what I mean? It's like, but the key to understanding why this film has like clockpunk elements and why like at the start one of the Musketeers is a scuba gimp with like fucking with twin crossbows that apparently like fire in a cone for like splash damage and that is to understand that Paul W.S. Anderson is 12 years old.
just like everyone else now.
Yeah, that theory of American politics is also the theory of like Paul's back catalogue, because just everything in his films is just this would be so cool like to a 12-year-old. That's basically whose target audience is constantly, like himself at 12 years old. What if my hot wife did backflips and then everyone had like guns and slow motion? You know what I mean? Just.
Oh, the slow motion, fucking hell.
I know, the fucking slow motion. The booby traps were the thing that fucking killed me, where they go like, we're breaking into Leonardo da Vinci's vault, and it's like, okay, but why does it have all of that shit? Like,
okay, we are like just fucking disjointedly rambling through some shit.
All right, okay.
We're in danger of talking about the plot in order, kind of.
If it's good enough for Paul W.S. Anderson, it's good enough for us.
Yeah, so we get a bit of blurb about how like fucking, you know what I mean, Europe is a map game and like France is losing.
Yeah, France stands alone, etc.
Yeah, and so the Musketeers have been dispatched to do fucking Assassin's Creed bullshit in Venice.
Skies are now battlefields. Yep.
Yeah. And we get like fucking one of them. I can't remember what the Musketeers are. I know which one's Porthos, and I couldn't tell the other two apart. So. Help me
it's
out
Athos,
here.
Porthos, and Aramis, but I don't really remember.
Yeah. Well, which one's the one that comes out of the water dressed? Which one's the one that comes out of the water dressed like a gimp?
I wrote down early modern Sam Fisher was what I wrote down.
Yeah,
that's your man that's trying to sound like Alan Rickman.
Yeah, I did.
It is, isn't it? That's what he was doing. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, suddenly that clicked. Fuck.
It did bug me why he sounded like that, because I've seen him in other things and he doesn't sound like that. But that's yeah. He was trying to do the Alan Rickman that your nan buys off Wish. But yeah, I love that there's a guard on the dock in like at some Venice canal, and he hears a suspicious blub, and then goes and like peers into the river, and it's like, so are SEAL teams common in this universe? In like, you know what I mean? 1600.
You never just wanted to see a cool fish.
And also, it must be boring as fuck guarding that specific bit. Like, that must be the most boring bit to guard, right? And then, I'm just watching the bit now on my screen. He gets shot in the neck.
Yeah. And then he climbs out, and then like 20 guards materialize. And he pulls twin crossbows that have like, they're like, it's so mad because they're a crossbow, but like you took the crossbow mesh in like fucking Blender and rotated it 45 degrees and copied it like 3 times so that it's like
it's some kind of rapid fire crossbow system. Well, also you see it once in this scene and then never again.
Never again. It's got like 4 or 5 strings on it, but they're all centered across the same point. So, when he pulls the trigger, it shoots like 5 guys in different places at the same time. But it's like, it's like no one put any thought into any part of this film. They just went like, right, the crossbow has this bow on it that shoots 1 arrow. So if it had 4 bows, it could shoot 4 arrows. And then you go, well, wouldn't they need to be in different places for that, or go off at different times? It's like, nah, it just pulls the trigger once and it does a cone attack.
It's orc engineering. That's what it is. It's orc engineering. That's what we've got going on.
It's a combi weapon.
You know what? That actually works for like every single other idiotic like trap or puzzle or fucking air-based vehicle that occurs in this movie. Yep.
So what we're saying is we need to reskin this as Warhammer 40k, and then we can probably enjoy it.
Well, there's like a whole bunch of scenes where like they progress the plot by way of showing you a map with some miniatures on it. So it's like you're already on like you're cooking. Also, my other note on this scene, because like early modern Sam Fisher comes out of the water by like shooting a knife through a guy essentially. Who then dies. And my note here still says Dr. Knifegun MD is real.
It's true. Yeah, but then like, he kills all these guards and he dumps all the bodies, and then he takes like one step and fucking Mila Jovovich appears from behind a pillar and threatens him. And it's like, well, how did she get there and why didn't he just do that?
Yeah, and also, how did she hide behind a pillar when, like, she's dressed in 7,000 layers of hoop skirt?
Yeah.
Well, she was perfectly still, which means they couldn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
She was a cake.
She maybe she was hiding in like, some of that special grass that turns you invisible, like, fucking Ghost of Tsushima or something.
Fucking Hitman style hiding. She just hit the blend in button and no one could see her.
No, it's because the director's just really fucking terrible at directing films. She wasn't she wasn't in frame, so she didn't exist. Do you know what I mean? It's like she just materializes as soon as her arm comes into shot.
To be fair, that is also how I live my life, so I can't blame him for that.
It's like how people in the film keep saying things to each other that like they referencing things that they wouldn't know because the audience knows, but like they don't, or not doing things because the audience knows something, so it's assumed the cast know as well. You know what I mean? Like it's like you could just put a line in to explain this, but we haven't got time for that. We've got cool backflips to do in slow motion, so you know what I mean? Like, fuck connective tissue. All my homies hate connective tissue. But yeah, anyway, so like he's done some like Sam Fisher shit on the docks, and then there's the other one.
Cut to him.
Yeah, he jumps off a roof into a fucking boat, and it's comical because it's like fucking tiny, this gondola, and it's apparently got like 10 guards in it. Like you see a gondola, and there's a cornetto guy with a stick who's like driving the gondola, and there's a bloke and a lady like necking on under the roof, and then he jumps onto it and like crashes through the roof, and suddenly there's like 6 guards, and it's like, okay, whatever, and he fights them all, and he like tips them all out of the boat, and then sits down like, and the wifey's like, ooh, you're quite handsome, and he's like, I've got 10 minutes to spare, and they, you know what I mean? We're led to imagine that they get to fucking while the 6 guys he tipped out of the boat float nearby watching, like what? You know what I mean?
Like an audience, you don't know.
This is the weirdest dogging situation I've ever been in.
An audience of recently defeated foes. What more could he want, really? Like,
what you're forgetting though is this is all happening in Italy. And
yeah, this is normal there. Yeah, this is like you can
impolite to get back in the boat before the vinegar strokes.
You can fuck someone else's wife in front of them in Italy. I assume that's like perfectly fine.
Yeah, I was in Italy last week. It was just like a weird thing. Yeah. It's like, hello, 2 coffees, please, and your wife, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
By
the way, your ceremonial fist fight.
Yeah, your wife is very pretty.
It's time for fucking.
Yeah, and then we get Big Ray's introduction.
Yes.
Yeah, I assume that Titus Pillow has just been like, imprisoned underground for the better part of 2 centuries. 2 millennia.
Yeah, they put an iron mask on him and everything. It's got kind of weird with it.
Yeah, they've only just finally found his tomb, and then he decides to free himself.
Yeah, the God Emperor of mankind.
I wish.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love that.
It would be sick as fuck, that wouldn't it?
I would buy that. I'd watch the shit out of that as well.
Yeah,
Henry Cavill, call us.
I miss Big Ray Stevenson. Like, do you know what I mean? He was a fucking delight.
Yeah,
man.
Just in everything. He's just the best. He's just the best.
He is like the best bit of everything he's in. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I watched that fucking Star Wars piss
thing. Me
too. Just because he was in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was fucking dreadful, but it was great whenever he was on screen.
Yeah, and he made a pretty convincing like fallen Jedi as well. He did a really good job of it. Like,
yeah, no, like I say, he always brings like A game to everything, except that one fucking thing with Will Ferrell and fucking Marky Mark.
No, yeah, that doesn't deserve anyone's energy.
He's the villain's henchman, and for some fucking reason they made him do an Australian accent, and it's like, I'm sorry, I take that as like fucking like an actual hate crime. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you make him do Australian? But clearly they just thought, make him sound Australian, because like whatever he sounds like normally, that's not it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck you. Yeah, but anyway, he's like fucking. He's been captured by the Venice guards, I guess. You know what I mean? The people who run the Da Vinci,
CSI,
yeah, the people who run the Da Vinci Museum, and
the Dan Brown investigation squad.
Yeah, and they've trapped him in the most space inefficient prison they could build. He's standing in the middle of a giant room with his fucking wrists chained to each like opposite wall by like about a mile of chain on each side, and then he reveals that they didn't catch him. He's actually there to catch them, and he pulls the fucking like bricks out of the wall that he's chained to and just whips them at people until they're all dead.
Just a great cool shit. Titus Polo scene, really, isn't it?
Like, does he grab a key off the guy as well? Like, keys have been a thing, and
they're grabbing keys.
Yeah. They're all getting keys. He gets a key off the head guard and then headbutts him because you know what I mean. He's just rowdy like that.
Yeah, you can't have Ray Stevenson and have him not headbutt somebody.
Yeah, you can't. True. He has to stab someone in the throat, headbutt them, get his head smashed in by someone, as did happen in Rome, and then he has to have surgery done on him.
In general, though, this movie, right, for like something that's kind of like light, airy popcorn fluff bullshit, there's a lot of fucking people die, like all the time.
Yeah, well, it was the Middle Ages or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, life expectancies were shorter then.
Yeah, because apparently Ray Stevenson was going around killing people. Like,
yeah, but they find like fucking Leonardo da Vinci's secret vault where he like keeps all of his blueprints, which the Venetians have apparently just left down there, like riddled with booby traps and self-lighting torches, which is quite the innovation. But they apparently decided it wasn't for them to go down into a secret vault and steal the blueprints for how to make like fucking steampunk airships and conquer the world. And so the Musketeers do it. And the corridor going in there, they're like, oh no, all the torches light up on their own, and it looks really cool. And then they're like, wait, no, it's too easy. And they throw a fucking knife down, and when it like stops moving, it sets off a fucking pressure pad, and loads of shit shoots out of the walls like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they're all crossbows behind there or something.
If you haven't already, I think it's around this point where you go, oh right, so like it's just completely bonkers, off the wall, like just whatever came into the fucking writer's head when they were writing this is what this movie is about, because like it's too easy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like what?
Yeah,
okay,
how has been easy so far?
A plan that has already involved 3 separate, effectively assassinations is too easy. That's too easy, everyone.
Yeah, everyone in this film talks like they're in fucking Ocean's 11 as well, which I found particularly great. Where like fucking, you know what I mean? D'Artagnan's like saying, "Oh, we'll have to penetrate a heavily guarded facility," and it's like, I don't think any of those words were in the French language back then. Shut the fuck up, mate. You know what I mean? But maybe penetrate, right?
Yeah, but
penetrate definitely was,
Jamie, this is just how Americans speak.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Yeah, we'll get to that, like, but yeah, like, it's just, you know what I mean? You know the fucking deal. And it's like, this is mile-long corridor with, like, fucking 100,000 crossbows that we get to see in a cool, like, Zack Snyder speed-ramped shot of behind the wall to show you all the crossbows that are firing, like, fucking spiky marbles for some reason rather than arrows. But it's like, why is that corridor even there, then? Like, because presumably no one can go down there to just like check out a book, right? Because they'll get shot by all the fucking crossbows. So why have a corridor leading to? Why not just burn all of your fucking documents if you don't want anyone to look at them ever again? You know what I mean? It's bizarre, but they go down there.
Worst library checkout system I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, they're debating how to go down the corridor, and then Backflip Wife just like runs down.
Yeah, just fucking
does a sick slide on her knees to the end, while all the bullets like whiz past her in slow motion.
And this is the first of many gratuitous shots of cleavage that we're going to get in this movie.
Yeah, cleavage and long exposed legs, like almost underwear shots, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And slow motion backflip lady. Like, you just cannot get that. That's like his directorial signature. But yeah, they get down there and like they fucking, she sets off all the traps so the rest of them can presumably just walk down. And then they're like down there and it's the only way, there's only one way in and out. And if I remember rightly, only one of them is actually looking through the fucking documents. So the rest could have stood guard at the other end, but then they get ambushed by soldiers. And the only way out
in the 16th, 17th century, only one of them being able to read. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but the other four could have stood guard, like I'm saying, you know what I mean? And then at least warned everyone that the only exit was about to be flooded with, like, men in tin hats.
Speaking of
most realistic part of the movie.
How did they solve the problem? They solved the problem by using fucking, like, medieval C4 to breach and clear. So they blow a hole in the fucking place, which somehow leads to the four of them like floating to safety, but
all of the guards being like washed away in a tidal wave that surges through the fucking palace because no one, like, do you know what I mean? No one explained the communication of reservoirs, I guess. But also,
I really want to shout out the fucking Unreal Engine 2 ass water graphics.
Yeah, I was just about to say they have the most 2006 ass water simulation I've seen in a long time. Like,
and now a word from our sponsors.
Everything is fucking expensive.
Subscribe to Praxiscast at patreon.com/Praxiscast.
But yeah, anyway, we mentioned the writers, and I should say that there's 3 people credited with writing this. Right, one of them, not surprising, Alexandre Dumas, obviously, right?
Well, yeah.
He had to get his name like posthumously slapped on this piece of shit to give it a bit of class. The other 2 writers are the 2 writers are one of the guys who wrote Predators and the guy who wrote the original House of Cards.
What the 1980s one?
Yeah, the 1990 House of Cards. Yeah,
that fucking ruled. I love that one.
Yeah, well,
the first series of that is fucking incredible.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. This is what he's been up to lately.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm sad now.
I think you were sad then as well, were you?
I've always been sad. I just
yeah.
Not
so
for nothing, but I had an hour and a half session with a job coach today, and to say I feel less sad would be an overstatement.
Yeah, but they fucking, you know what I mean? So they escape the perilous underwater tomb that they just created by just floating out of the fucking, like...
simply floating away from the danger.
Some of the worst fucking CGI you have ever seen in your life.
Yeah. Oh, the water in Minecraft looks more convincing than this. It's like... But yeah, they just surge up to the surface on a tide of voxels and then... Smash cut to them being bone dry in another location where fucking, do you know what I mean? Mila Jovovich has poisoned the wine because she's double crossed them because fucking teddy boy Orlando Bloom, who like makes his big entrance here, paid her more money than they were, which presumably they weren't paying her. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so despite the fact that she loves the guy from Succession, she's double-crossed him for fucking Orlando Bloom because he's just got the fucking most stylish quiff you've ever seen.
It is crazy. The costume work is
poison special effect. which is why don't we make Orlando Bloom kind of slide in and out of being a go old, and fucking motion blur up to 150.
Why don't we make Orlando Bloom sound like he's on Discord? Yeah.
I mean, I am going to be honest with you. I would leave all of you in a fucking heartbeat for Orlando Bloom if he looked like that.
I mean,
absolutely. Like, I would climb over all four of you to get to him. But my favorite part about this, though, is that he unfurls the fucking document they've stolen from, like, Da Vinci's crypt or whatever the fuck it is, and it's literally just a fucking like blueprint of a boat with an air balloon on top of it, and it's like, what
it really is? It's a literal airship.
Yeah, and it's like holy, you need a blueprint for that? Like, surely someone can just tell you, oh, it's just a fucking balloon on top of a ship.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Really.
I'm pretty sure in this period they already had ships, like ocean-going ships. Yeah. They had the hulls, they had all the cannons, they had all that shit like kind of like lying around. And it's like he may as well have just had like a picture of a big fuck-off balloon, then a plus symbol, and then like HMS Victory or something.
It's literally like a fucking
new project for renewing Britain. There.
Yeah. It's like a crafting system. You just like on one end you drop in balloon, on the other you drop in ship, and then
that's it. Yeah,
done and dusted.
Yeah, you just put them on your copper anvil and you bang them together. No, it's literally like a tech tree unlock, right? Like, do you know what I mean? They complete this side quest and they unlock a new tech tree.
Yeah, it's Civ, where you refuse to research anything like gunpowder, writing, pottery, but you've just gone straight for the fucking like aerospace engineering and like strategic resource extraction, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so then like and then we cut to like fucking 3 years later or something.
Ein Jahr später. If
yeah. Oh right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Important to know we all watched Die Drei Musketeeren.
What killed me about this copy was that like all of that text on screen starts out in German, but the end credits are in English, and I'm like, did someone splice two versions together here? What's going on?
I mean, I count this as credits towards my German exams here, but yeah.
Yeah, this film taught me how to speak German. That's why all the credits at the end I can understand.
Really fortunate that Venice in German and Turkish is the same, because otherwise I may not have understood what was happening.
Yeah, we cut to 1 year later, and is it D'Artagnan?
Yes,
sword fighting.
Yeah, with his dad, Dexter Fletcher. What the fuck?
Yeah. This is one of my favourite moments in the film, because like they've got D'Artagnan there, and they've got his dad Dexter Fletcher and his mum Diana from Hitman, and they both have to do the worst American accents you've ever heard, because the actor playing D'Artagnan is a Yank.
Yeah,
and like despite the fact nobody else's accent,
insufferable.
Oh yeah, he's a smug prick, and I really understood the hostility he generated in the film.
Yeah.
That accent that he's fucking doing is so bad, but he's already done a good one at this point in Band of Brothers. Like, he's not incapable. I think he was just showing the film the contempt it deserved.
I mean, he probably did the Band of Brothers accent, and the director was like, "No, do it again." You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, the best
guy that made Ray Stevenson Australian.
Yeah. The best part is when, like, because his dad's teaching him how to be like a sword fighter or whatever, and giving him the family heirloom sword that his granddad presumably killed a bunch of guys for, and telling them all the sagely advice and everything. Musketeering comes from the heart, and like fucking like pee is stored in the balls. All that fatherly talk you need to have before you send your kid off on a shit horse to find his fortune.
Yeah.
But his mom turns up.
The buds and the balls.
His mom turns up and sighs, and when she sighs, she sounds exactly like Diana from Hitman, and then she's suddenly doing whatever the American version of Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent is.
Yeah. and then she turns to the dad and says, "Well done, Dexter Fletcher. Now make your way out of this movie, never to be seen again."
Yeah, it's so. The thing is, nobody else's accent in the entire film. No one else in the film gives a shit about anyone's accent. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Orlando Bloom is British teddy boy, and then all of the Musketeers are British apart from D'Artagnan, and the fucking King of France is British. And his like cardinal is fucking German, and the chief of the guards is Danish, and so like you know what I mean. And no one cares, but they had those two had to suffer and do like bad yank to.
Yeah, having Richelieu be German was a choice, I guess. But okay.
Yeah, that's what he was Red Eminence famous for, being very German.
The Red Eminence, notoriously pro-German. Look at
But yeah, so they send him off. They send him off on a horse, and then like he rides his like fucking shitey horse into like a pub and splashes.
Yeah, the horse, by the way, is called Buttercup. That's the level of comedy we're like operating on here.
Yeah, and he gets off the horse directly into a puddle and splashes mud on fucking Le Chiffre, who's like, you know what I
mean? What I will say at this point is this is probably the best set in this movie because it seems like it's the most like era appropriate one.
Yeah.
And it's a pub.
Yeah, that is always a plus.
Yeah, so like fucking, you know what I mean? Mads Mikkelsen's mean about his horse, says it looks like fucking shit and should fire it off to the knacker's yard because, like, you know what I mean? He's got some Airfix kits to build or some shit, and the kid's like fucking, well, I'm going to stab you now for being rude about my horse, and then like
your dad's horse is a cow. Aye.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So he strides about like throwing his fucking coats everywhere and getting his sword out and swishing it about, and then turns around and immediately gets shot.
Yeah,
yeah, it is. That is good though. I had a small hoot and holler because it is just like a straight rip from Indiana Jones, but I don't care.
Yeah,
every time that happens, it is just fucking funny. I don't like.
Let's give it appropriate credit. This is the second straight rip so far from Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many bits in this that are just straight rips from other things. Like they do the Matrix helicopter rescue scene inexplicably towards the end of the film. But yeah, he gets shot.
The Matrix is a lot to answer for.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Like, but yeah, he gets shot and then he's about to get stabbed in the eye, but fucking backflip wife like says he's too pretty to get stabbed in the eye. She just arrives in a carriage. Do you know what I mean? She's like, no, don't stab him. He's too pretty. And so fucking like Jim Rockford or whatever the fuck the guy's called. I can't remember his name. Something like that.
It doesn't matter. It's Mads Mikkelsen. It's a guy you see on screen and you go, oh my god, what are you doing here?
Well, what he's doing there is Le Chiffre. Like, just
beat
for beat. Do you know what I mean? The director just like hired him and went, can you do Casino Royale again?
Also,
but this time, can you wear an eye patch with like a fucking? Is it a clock? What the fuck's going on there? On it,
it might be a clock. Actually, like this film is clock punk. Let's not forget.
Anyway, so his Warhammer game gets interrupted.
What do clock punk people stick to the hats if like steampunk's already claimed cogs?
Well, clocks, right? Like
fucking sundial.
Yeah, exactly.
Where were we? He's been
shot.
What's her face has thrown the fucking handkerchief of immunity at the handsome boy.
Yeah.
The handkerchief that's like, you know what I mean? It's basically, it's not a handkerchief, it's a bandage from a video game because like he's been shot in the shoulder and then it never, like it's just purely healed the next time you see it.
Plays the fucking Half-Life noise where you've just picked up a health pack.
Yeah. That's basically it, like. She crafted that from reeds. Oh, how much funnier would this film have been if everyone made like fucking vintage story noises when we got stabbed?
Oh, so much better.
Yeah. Anyway, then he goes to Paris, and he sees fucking like Rochefort and decides to chase him, and in chasing him bumps into all three Musketeers and pisses them off. Which is entirely
it's a series of little meat cutes that is neither meat nor cute.
Yeah, but it's entirely understandable that they all want to kill him because he's just a little fucking prick.
If this child interrupted me during getting like a fancy suit bought for me by a woman, I would have been very angry, as did happen to Ray Stevenson in this scene.
Not just
if
any
this
woman.
child interrupted me picking gum out of my hair, I would have shot him in the face. Like,
Not just it's not just any woman. That character is credited as Cougar.
Oh no! Oh, jeez, how can you be a cougar to someone who's basically the same age as you?
Well, if you have the mind of a baby like the director does, then maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, so do you know what I mean? At least he didn't call the character MILF. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if he'd made this film 5 years earlier, he might have done that.
Character's name was actually Le Cougar, which is French for MILF.
Yeah, but
it should have been in German, obviously. Like,
yeah,
fucking Athens or whatever he's called.
Can I request a clip of that little meow there?
Yeah. No, I would have sent you one anyway.
But I do kind of like that Polo / Ray Stevenson has found like a woman who just buys him all his fancy clothes. I love that for him. Yeah. That's good. I'm a big fan of that. No,
he deserves it. He deserves nice
That's
things.
basically what he wanted at the end of season 2 of Rome, right?
Well, no, because everything reset because everyone got fucking killed, including Cleopatra, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good ending, really.
Always happening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, so he runs into all three Musketeers. So like we say, Porthos is getting a jacket made by some English comedian who I couldn't quite place, who's dressed like a fucking Cluedo piece for some reason.
Because that's how French people dressed back then. That's how French people dressed. It's period accurate.
Yeah, and then and like fucking Athens or whatever he's called is like just getting drunk and stealing beer off another drunk, and fucking Aram Mayor,
fucking Aramis,
something like that, innit? Right, Aramis, that's it. Yeah, he's given the fucking guy's horse a parking ticket.
Yeah, fucking honestly.
I want to know.
Do you know what this film reminded me of? It reminded me of like what it would have looked like in a world where Dungeons and Dragons was a really bad film.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has all the same like elements present, but the execution is just absolutely fucked.
This
and
film
somehow every action
This film would have been infinitely more tolerable if it was like set in the D&D universe. That I will say that outright.
Yeah.
At the time this film was made, Dungeons and Dragons was a shit film.
Yeah, there was a previous one, wasn't there?
Yeah, it had Jeremy Irons in it.
Oh, fucking hell.
And also, and this is my favourite thing that's ever happened in a fucking film, it has a scene where they meet Richard O'Brien and, like, he tasks them with retrieving a crystal from a maze.
Filters.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've just tabbed out, skipped over to the like parking ticket scene or whatever, and in the next shot, what's his face has the fucking pad with all the like the blank citation pieces of paper and his quill or whatever in his pocket like a pen, and like fuck off.
Yeah, but his horse gets a parking ticket and like he bumps into a fucking guy at the tailor's and a drunk guy, and they all threaten to kill him, and so he like challenges them all to duels. You know, it's Musketeers, right? This was in The Adventures of Dogtanion and the Three Muskehounds. I remember this. Do you know what I mean? So.
What really annoys me about this entire like way of setting up how they're all going to meet together is that it kind of establishes this in-universe rule, I suppose, of you're allowed to just set someone else's schedule for you. Like you can just do that. You can just tell someone be this X place at Y time, and they have to do it.
Yeah, because otherwise,
because this is like France. This is like the honor code of like duels. If you're like meet me on the North Pole at 45 minutes, then you have to show up.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're dishonourable.
They could have sidestepped a lot of the plot here by just saying you need to be in this place at that time and then just not showing up.
Yeah, but you know what fucks me off about all this? Because like in the scene to come, there's like they were about to do the duel between the little shit boy and the Three Musketeers, and like they get interrupted by a whole bunch of guards and Mads Mikkelsen again. And the whole thing that fucks me off about this, and like I was thinking about this, is like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies ruined all pirate movies for the foreseeable forever because they're just so fucking shit, and they have, you know, a cast. Also Orlando Bloom, but not who I mean. But so you can't do pirates anymore. Like, I would like another like fun, sort of lighthearted, like swashbuckling movie, exactly like this, right? But not so fucking shit. Yeah. Like, I would like a pirate movie or like a fucking sword fighting movie, but you can't do that anymore. You know?
No, I mean, well,
fucking because of
once again point to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons did a good job of it.
Yeah, but that's like a fantasy movie. That's not like swashbuckling. That's not like sword fighting.
This is a fucking fantasy movie.
You can swashbuckle.
There's literally a subclass called swashbuckler.
Buckle your swash.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there are swashbucklers in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, but only the listeners know that I'm right.
Like I said, this is a fucking fantasy film, Rob. I don't know what more you want. Like they didn't have fucking airships and clock punks.
No, I want like
and we all know England doesn't exist. So like this is made up. Like all of this is made up.
Can we?
No, nobody from England has ever had as much fucking swag as Orlando Bloom does in this film. That's like wild.
Nah, that's
fucking
or received as positive a reception in France. To be honest, so.
Yeah. We need to move on to the next scene where we get to look at Christoph Waltz's scale model war figures.
Yeah, Warhammer. Yes. Yeah, we're back, baby.
Yes.
We're so back.
I just want to mention in the bit where he bumps into fucking Porthos at the tailors and royally fucks him off, you know, as per. And like Ray Stevenson goes like, "Fucking, do you know who I am?" And the kid's like, "Do you know who I am?" And Ray Stevenson's like, "No." And the kid goes, "Then we're even." And Ray Stevenson does the most impressive, like, fucking cartoon double take I think I've ever seen. He's just like, huh? It's incredible. It's like pitch perfect. You know what I mean? I love it. We lost a real talent there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did actually.
Honestly, though.
Yeah. Anyway, so then like they're all about to kill each other, and then like 700 guards turn up, and fucking Mads Mikkelsen's like, right, just fucking batter the lot of them. I'm away to the pub. You know what I mean? They like shoot some more peasants, and then they like, you know, all 40 fucking guards or whatever get the shit kicked out of them, and the head guard snaps his sword in half in a tantrum.
Yeah,
which like impressive feat of strength, by the way.
Yeah. And fucking D'Artagnan tries to chat up the Queen's aide, who just happens to be standing around in a fucking lumber mill or wherever the fuck they are.
You may as well, you know, just fuck it. Why not? In the middle of the fight.
Actually, yeah, shout out to the fucking two guys with the giant saw in the background. They've got like two logs raised up, and one guy's standing on top of the logs, sawing the logs in half, and it's like, you're shaking hands with fucking danger there, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd love to know what they are supposed to be fucking doing. It's so good. I was fixated. Like, there's like 80 sword fights going on in the foreground, and I'm like, what the fuck are those lads at? Like, do you know what I mean?
I've just
they're making the crates that you print the word Acme on.
Yeah, not many people know that company started in the 17th century.
But this is what I mean, Jamie. You're like, I was paying attention to the sword fights because it kind of just like all is kind of plasticky and sucks shit. And it has, like I was saying earlier, it has this weird sort of half of the guards they like, you know, incapacitate in some manner are like, you know, knocked unconscious or like get a small nick across the knee, and then they just lie around on the floor rolling like and then the other half just gets stabbed to fucking death. And I'm like, I don't understand. Can this movie not make up its mind about like what the, you know, whether or not people are supposed to die in this thing?
It's the eternal friction between what 12-year-olds want to see and what, like, the fucking British Board of Film Classification will give you a rating to show 12-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you get a little bit of, like, murder, and then you have to, like, everyone else just has to get knocked out, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. The film was probably initially all murders, and then they went, like, Okay, but this is shit, and only children will enjoy it. So maybe like shave some of those off.
Yeah. So it's like 50% A-team rules.
Yeah, I remember 2011, and no fucker was turning in a blockbuster film that like lasted less than 2 hours back then. So there's got to be at least like 15 minutes of this shit on the cutting room floor. Especially not if the film had swords in it. Holy fuck! Like if you were making a film with swords in back then, 3 hours minimum, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Trying and win that Lord of the Rings dollar, like. It was an embarrassing time to like fucking go to the movies, do you know what I mean? And then just be sat there for like 3 hours because every fucker thought they were Peter Jackson. Like, Bad Boys 2 is like 3 hours long or something. Why is that like?
Fuck my life. Yeah, it is.
The only other director with any kind of like claim on the Peter Jackson throne is Dan Harmon. That's just because they look so similar.
Can you tell, by the way, listener, how gripping this movie is, given the fact that we like constantly see a fucking butterfly and run after it in the middle of this recording?
Yeah, we're like veering. We're in the weave now. We're gonna start talking about all sorts of shit.
If we actually just ran through the plot of the film, we'd be done in 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's true.
Importantly, you know, as the listener, that we can choose to end this pretty much immediately. But
yeah, you have to stay now.
It's basically just like go to the library, get a copy of like Three Musketeers, and just doodle fucking robots and Daleks and shit in the margins, and then you've got the full fucking Paul W.S. Anderson cinematic experience right there.
I mean, just to be honest about it, genuinely, like, where does that shit come from? Because the setting has no indication at all that there's any like tech that's out of place.
Everyone else is like 17th century French peasants. And then there's suddenly there's a guy with a fucking you know what I mean, an airship.
And admittedly,
thus disproving once and for all, you know, if you showed a Dorito to a French medieval peasant, he'd die instantly because like that guy's like a little fucking triangle with some flavors on it. Brother, have you seen my fucking airship? Bye.
Yeah. This fucking English guy showed up with an airship last week. Don't worry about it. You know, like.
I've got 2 airships pinned to Notre Dame, bitch.
They do just seem to damage a bunch of historically significant sites with the airships, actually.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like when we get to the end, obviously there's a big fight on
spoilers.
Yeah. So what happens after they batter all of the fucking guards? Is it it's them meeting James Corden, isn't it? Everyone's favorite.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're going back to their place where James Corden is their manservant of sorts.
Yeah, the Musketeer hangout.
Yeah.
I'll say this for the film: they did a good job on not actually doing it, obviously, because it's terrible to see him in fucking anything. But casting James Corden in the role of servant who is constantly shat upon is a great way to make it so that we don't hate the main characters.
Yeah, like,
because I like to shit on James Corden.
I related to that quite sure, to the desire to humiliate and belittle him quite well, actually.
Because like 50% of the Musketeer dialogue in this film is like, "Shut up, cunt." Do you know what I mean? Like, every time he opens
I
his
think
mouth.
once again you have to say Ray Stevenson delivered the best one of those, because his one like had proper venom in it as well. It was really good.
Yeah, he wasn't acting.
Yeah. Can you just imagine, like, them on set together, how fucking awkward that would feel? Like...
Yeah, so they go back to the Musketeer hangout and reveal that the Musketeers are skint and disillusioned and associated with James Corden for reasons of, like, fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Probably A has something to do with B, like... You know, why are we so shit and depressed? And like the door opens and James Corden's there. It's like, all right.
Yeah, but then D'Artagnan gives James Corden money to buy wine.
Big mistake.
He can sleep in James Corden's bed, which I wouldn't. You couldn't give me enough fucking money for wine.
You couldn't, like,
James Corden's bed, like.
But alternatively, it does mean James Corden sleeps on the balcony in the cold. So.
I mean,
you know, I would make James Corden sleep on the balcony and get covered in bird shit, and then I would just sleep on the kitchen table or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going near his fucking bed. Like,
yeah. personally question why James Corden is allowed to have a bed in the first place. Like, he should be on that balcony every night. Fuck him.
Yeah. So anyway, by way of buying wine, he becomes a musketeer because that's like, you know,
that's the entry fee.
That's how nepotism works in France.
Yeah, in France. That's how you get any. How do you think Macron became president? He bought people wine. That's just how it works. Like,
I was in France buying wine not a few weeks ago. Nobody made me a fucking musketeer. God damn it.
Yeah.
Did you ask?
Yeah, you bought the wine for you.
Fucking, this is what happens with EU bureaucracy. You're better to be out of there.
Yeah, and then I can't remember what happens next.
They all get arrested and then they get dragged in front of the king, and Richelieu is there Mr. King, you should stab them in the heart because they are bad and they, you know, assaulted my guards. And the King's actually, they're really fucking sick, nasty, and we're going to keep them.
Yeah, no, there's the scene with fucking Mila Jovovich and Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, and his scale war models.
Yeah, he's playing chess against himself because he's bored of the giant warhams on the floor. And like,
really cool that we're doing the look at this master schemer type thing, and it's basically just look how much like Elon Musk this guy is. Like going to the Rachel Reeves School of Educational Prowess.
This just makes me think of that fucking Elon Musk tweet again about how chess is stupid because it doesn't have 3 factions or a fog of war.
That's why he's got
Warhammer all over the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't unlock airships in chess. That's a major failing. Anyway, Mila Jovovich has been to England to shag Orlando Bloom, and you would, wouldn't you? And like, she's come back to report that Orlando Bloom is coming to fucking see them, and is also incredibly well dressed and devilishly handsome. And then the king comes
dripped out. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And the king comes in.
This is a shit movie, but you should watch it for the fits, because also like the king has a crazy amount of like insane outfits. Everybody is just like constantly having insane outfits, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly, I enjoyed watching this, mainly because I knew how much it was going to annoy Rob. But like, do you know what I mean? I watched it twice, and I didn't hate it either time. You know, it is objectively fucking garbage, but like, you know what I mean? It at least gave me something to laugh at. But yeah, anyway, the king comes in, and he's like, "Did I just hear you talking about Orlando Bloom? What's that motherfucker wearing these days?" And she tells him that he's wearing green because the king's wearing like all blue, and she's like, "Oh, he's dressed in green these days." And so he has a tantrum about how like the fucking Cluedo piece guy made him dress in blue, and he tears the sleeves as he's storming out the room. He tears the sleeves off his fucking jacket and chucks them into the air. Like, and some footmen from Warcraft 2 are stood in the background, and they all look shocked. And then it cuts to an aerial shot, and there's no sleeves and no footmen. But what can you do? Do you know what I mean? Like,
made the final cut.
You simply shrug your shoulders, say "zug zug," and move on.
Yeah, the king's just like, off I go then.
We are a very dated podcast, and if like, you know, you want to take us all to that farm upstate where nobody can go visit, but we're having a lovely time, that's acceptable too.
Yeah,
I'd love to have a lovely time on a farm.
Yeah. Like that fucking tweet, isn't it? Like, I've never been into pet play before, but I could really go for being put down about now.
Fucking hell. Gonna need to find a screenshot of that one real quick. And
then it cuts to the Musketeers like receiving a royal bollocking because fucking Cardinal fucking Richelieu is like to the king.
Yeah, they
like,
manhandled my men who suck at their job, to be honest.
Really, 40 against 4.
Yeah, they started shit with my fucking 40 guys in like black PVC armor plates. Do you know what I mean? Like the most fetish French guards I've ever seen. That shit is far too shiny. Do you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be breastplates that have been painted with like Dulux gloss or something. It's fucking baffling. Like why they're so shiny. They look like Darth Vader. Do you know what I mean?
All we know is
he had to give some sort of shout out and just a way to give the guy some work that usually provides the outfits for the Resident Evil films.
All we know is that these guys probably all sleep in the same armory. Somebody online will get it. Fuck all of you.
Oh yeah, so the Musketeers get invited to the palace, and the king and Richelieu are there, and Richelieu's like, these are the naughty boys what like fucking started fighting in the schoolyard, and the king's like, really? Oh, how many guards were there? And they're like, like a fucking million or something, and he's like, wow, holy shit, you guys are really cool. I sentence you all to buy new coats and get a bag of monies.
Yeah.
And then,
it's such a great. I love the French justice system. I should have broken more laws while I was there. I mean, I feel like I could have used some clothes.
And Richelieu goes to like interrupt and like tell him he's like, you're doing it wrong. And the Queen's there, and she's like, well, you shut the fuck up. You're just like the
actually you're doing it right.
The king. Yeah, he's the king.
You are royally sick, nasty. You are correct.
Yeah, it's like, Richelieu, you're not even God's vicar. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So they all get sentenced to like fucking new coats and
sentenced to a shopping montage.
You get told not to be quite as cool as shit in public anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's embarrassing the rest of France.
Oh no.
And then is it the fucking the visit from like the teddy boy?
Yeah,
there's
that's
like a bunch
when
of
he
stuff
rocks up
between
in his giant airship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there something?
Yeah, because he's late, and the king, who is genuinely like I know, played by Lawrence Fox's cousin, but who's having a good time, just being like a sort of like a beautiful dipshit, like just like an idiot, but like in quite a beautiful way.
Yeah, he's loving it.
There are some people in this film who are doing good work. It's not load bearing though, is it? You know what I mean? Like
no.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed.
The king is an idiot astride the world, but complimentary.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed the King's performance. I enjoyed like fucking Mickelson and Waltz, obviously, and like fucking Ray Stevenson goes without saying. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed the fuck out of Orlando Bloom. Like, call me, I'm free Thursday. But like fucking everyone else was just pissing me off to some extent. Well, Luke Evans was there, I guess, but everyone other than him was kind of like annoying me in some fashion. But
genuinely up to like 3/4 of the movie thought that like Orlando Bloom was playing two parts at the same time, because I was like,
playing twins.
Two guys
I won't lie, I was kind of the same.
Watch more Fast and Furious films, I guess.
I've watched all of them.
I have seen all of those, motherfucker. Are you trying to talk to me about Fast and Furious movies? Come at me.
Well, you've seen more than me then, but like he's in one of those, and I remember him being there. Like he's in the one where they've got the 8-mile long runway, isn't it? At the end.
Yeah.
Where they like circumnavigate the equator, like planes like trying to take off.
It's called Neon.
That's the noise the plane makes while it's trying to get up enough speed. Literally, like he's the main bad guy in that, and the only thing I remember from that is he's got like a henchman who's like two guys in a fucking suit. Do you know what I mean? He's like enormous, this fucking dude. Vin Diesel and like probably The Rock have to fight him at the same time. I can't remember.
Yeah,
those films are always kind of paint by numbers, aren't they? So it's probably that. It's worth it though, because then you get Jason Statham in the next one.
Yeah,
but
then he turns out to be
basically the. Yeah.
Oh look,
Jason
a butterfly!
Statham.
Let's chase it, everybody.
Jason Statham is basically the Pokemon evolution of Luke Evans.
Listener, we are over an hour into this recording. We are an hour and 15 minutes into this recording.
We are 44
minutes into this 40 minutes into the
film. Okay, well, you know what I mean? Jesus, take the wheel.
I've got the scene up where Orlando Bloom shows up and it is literally just a balloon attached to a ship. I did think it was more complicated than that. But yeah, it is like that.
It is. It's just that. drops his anchor into the middle of the fucking like courtyard, smashes fuck out of it. I do love that the process for landing that ship is to drop a massive, literal fucking anchor into the pavement, and then presumably winch it down, and then as it gets near the ground, like it's a fucking galleon.
Yeah, six guys
jump off holding bits of string and like pull it to the ground. It's like, okay.
You can tell that there's been some English adaptation to the original design that made it less convenient. Because like, why would you do this?
It's like that bit. It's like that bit in The Winter Soldier where Chris Evans like is holding onto the helicopter to stop it from taking off, and it's just pulling him along the pad rather than lifting him into the air. But yeah, Orlando Bloom disembarks from his fucking galleon, dressed entirely in blue, and the king has like a fucking shit fit because he's dressed in green, and Orlando Bloom is like just such a fucking bitch to him. It's glorious.
He immediately goes to catty bitch mode. He's like, green, yes. Great. That was last season
That's so
in London.
retro.
Fuck, yes.
Get his ass. It's fucking great, like, yeah. Makes a show of flirting with the Queen and the Musketeers.
Yeah.
Fucking, you know what I mean? They should have made a spin-off with just him in it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
him flirting with people around the world dressed like that.
Yeah. Just a documentary, just a 12-part documentary, do you know what I mean? Where he just visits distant lands.
He just flirts with the locals.
Flirts with the locals and reports back on what kind of spices they have for the king.
So basically, early modern Star Trek is what you want.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah. And also how many seasons they are, behind.
I've just figured out
in fucking Cairo or whatever.
I've just figured out what this is. This is the fucking this is a holodeck episode. That's why none of it makes fucking sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
explains the cast. So much of it is so well explained.
They do, spoilers, they do hint at a sequel at the end, and the sequel should have just been everyone coming out of the holodeck and going back to work on the bridge.
I would watch this cast. I would watch this cast do a Star Trek. Like, I would watch that Star Trek film or series or whatever it has to be.
Yeah. I will simply still not watch a Star Trek. You can go to hell.
The question is Ray Stevenson the captain in this case?
No, he's chief medical officer.
But it's very important, though, to note James Corden is a character entirely created by the holodeck.
Yeah, he's not
part
real.
Of the crew, so he isn't in the sequel. And fucking D'Artagnan is Wesley Crusher, and everyone just tells him to shut up for the sequel instead.
I mean, it is very important that we all remember that James Corden isn't real and he can't hurt you.
So like they're having a peace treaty or something.
Yeah.
And also Mila Jovovich is planting forged letters from Orlando Bloom to the Queen.
Yeah.
And stealing some of the Queen's jewellery, which is kept in a fucking secret vault in her bedroom, protected by
a second secret vault hits the movie.
Yeah, but protected by invisible fucking wires of like nanofiber that will slice anything immediately.
Yeah, that fucking shit from fucking Three Body Problem. Like they straight up did that really annoying shit. But
I was going to say it's like
to do
it's
the
like
Resident
from Cube.
Evil laser scene. It's from Cube. Yeah, but it's an excuse for Mila Jovovich to do the thing that she's already done in another film, but again because presumably she's better at it now or something. I don't fucking know.
She defeats the cheese wire room from Cube with the power of backflips.
God, I love the Cube films. I love those films. Just so good. Much better than this film, actually. Yeah, definitely better than this.
Yeah, so she does some backflips through like a fucking bunch of like, you know what I mean? What would in any other era be lasers, but in this film is like fucking cheese wire that I think she has to blow dust at to reveal or something. Right?
Yeah, because that's how that works.
It's also done in some of the ropiest green screen I've ever seen. Like at the end when she's stepping over the last fucking wire, you can actually see like a faint green halo around her legs. Like they spent all the budget on Orlando Bloom's hair.
Which, and they're right to do
Well,
it.
that was a good investment, actually.
And with good cause.
Yeah. I kind of like the scene where the king is asking for dating advice as well, but is so bad at asking for dating advice in the way that is very 2011, apparently.
What's really fucked up about that, though, is that he's asking dating advice from a guy whose only inspiration seems to be Attack of the Clones Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, except he's much less unfuckable than Anakin in Episode 2. I cannot emphasize enough how little romantic chemistry
there is nobody
Anakin has with anyone.
There's nobody who will ever be less fuckable than Anakin in Episode 2 with the little rat tail. It's just like, I'm sorry, you can't do that to people.
You can get by. I can sort of get over the like specific looks because it's like a Jedi thing. But there's no chemistry. It's like less than no chemistry between him and Padme. Yeah. It's insane that this is supposed to be what George Lucas called his first
this
romance
is like you
film.
saying you could get over the fucking Punisher tattoo because it's just a cop thing. Like that's
no, like it's in the setting, it's fine. But also it's still Hayden Christensen. But also there's like zero chemistry. He's an unfuckable oath. He's an absolute unfuckable oath.
Yeah, it would be more believable at the end of Episode 3 if she died of boredom rather than heartbreak.
I hate Episode 2 so much. It just reignited like a lot of anger in me thinking about like George Lucas behind the scene thing where he's like, it's gonna be very romantic, and I'm like, George, normal people do not romance each other this way after doing genocide. That is not normal.
Yeah, but he stayed up all weekend binging Sugar and watching Thunderbirds, and then just went into the set the next day and went like, right, just do this.
And also,
a couple of mannequins banging together.
And also, I guess, given the number of stereotypes George Lucas put into those films, maybe he thinks that is normal. I don't know, but Jesus Christ!
Yeah, don't even get us started.
Yeah, how about Watto?
No.
How about Watto?
You've got me started. You've got me started again. I'm gonna once again remind everyone that the fucking Trade Federation guy, they got a Thai actor in to do all of his lines, and then got a British guy in to re-record them in the worst approximation of the Thai guy's accent that he could muster.
Yeah, but
that is apparently good cinema to George Lucas.
I think in the different language dubs, they have the Nemoidians be whatever country is stereotypically cowardly.
Shut the
fuck up! So, just gonna say in the German
like we're losing
dub,
the thread here.
I will just say in the German dub, they are French. So just gonna put that out there.
Right, where were we?
So they steal the necklace. Orlando Bloom fucks off back to England to like a 7-ring fucking fortress in the Tower of London or whatever the fuck. And then the Musketeers have to get it back before there's a ball because if the Queen isn't wearing the necklace, then the King will think he's betrayed her. And I honestly, at this point, the movie just turns into a really shithouse like fucking diamond heist movie because that's also a thing we would.
Oh the mission to England is one of my favorite fucking heists in all of cinema. It's so bad. It's like we're talking Ocean's 12 levels of contempt for the audience here. So like
the good thing about this heist is that we see none of it.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't fucking happen. Like the fucking backflips girl takes the fucking diamonds, puts them in the Tower of London because they've got a secret trapped vault there as well. Because they're just all the rage, right? And like the Musketeers have to like fucking distract the fucking head of the guards by dressing up the Queen's aide in drag so that they'll think it's D'Artagnan and then like chase him and then they can get on a boat.
Yeah, well they do that bit, which is like can be in a much better hands, like quite a funny thing, is where like you do a heist and then while the characters like are explaining the heist to each other, like or like another person is explaining it because Mila Jovovich is back explaining it to Orlando Bloom. Yeah. Another great fit. And he's like, oh, he will do this, and then he will, do the Assassin's Creed eagle dive down from the platform, and then this guy will do that, and then, you see all these kinds of bits, and it looks kind of good. And then they sort of go, but she's there, and she knows all this, so therefore we will just send in one very annoying child.
Yeah, So basically, like Rob says, right? Like they start to lay out the plan, like fucking Athos starts laying out the plan, and he's like, right, so I'm the master. I'm Hannibal Smith, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to fucking tell you how this is going to go down. While Mila Jovovich is saying this is what they'll do, and then he goes, but she'll be expecting that. So what we're going to do is something else. And then, like, so he says what to the other musketeers around a table on a boat in the middle of the channel. He says, we're the distraction. And, like, fucking D'Artagnan, you're the wild card. Like,
which by the way, no plan needs a wild card like this. Like, this is not a good...
I disagree. There is that episode of Sunny, so...
That's what, yeah.
That's why it cracked me up, like, do you know what I mean?
I did think of that episode instantly.
The boat jumps out the window. So they explain this plan, and he explains that they're going to be the distractions. So then we get like fucking Ray Stevenson and Luke Evans like yelling at each other in Cockney about how they've like crashed their carts into each other because they weren't like watching the indicator. Like, you know, I was signaling, no, I didn't see the signal. I can't think like you. I don't have my head far enough up my arse. So they're just having a whale of a time.
Can't believe they're going to get parking tickets in London as well for that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't bring a cart into the fucking ULEZ, mate. Like,
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then, like, while they're doing this, like, fucking, they've dressed D'Artagnan as a beefeater, and they, like, drop a noose,
ULEZ,
like, comedy noose.
ULEZ stands for Ultra Low Effluent Zone. So, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, like, there's a beefeater standing right outside the castle gate, and, like, a fucking noose just comes down and hooks him. And,
they killed that guy, right? They've killed him, right? Like, he's dead.
This is,
he's been killed.
Yeah. And, like, fucking D'Artagnan just comes down on the other end of the rope and then walks in pretending to be a beefeater, and then gets captured, and then, like, fucking gets brought to Orlando Bloom, and is, like, fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, just being like having this, he's just sitting there watching Orlando Bloom take bites out of the furniture. Like it is a fucking an absolute masterclass in like panto. Do you know what I mean? It's great. And then D'Artagnan reveals like the twist, and like because the fucking airship, the Three Musketeers have stolen the airship and have flown it up outside the window with, you know, the prop department's best effort at a fucking 17th century minigun, and they just start shooting through the window like in the Matrix. But like fucking D'Artagnan says to Orlando Bloom, like, they weren't the distraction, I was. And it's like, cool, he doesn't know that though. You know what I mean? He wasn't on the, like, notably, he wasn't on the boat when you explained the plan, so he doesn't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
I love how confused he'd be by these role designations that he just brought up out of nowhere.
Yeah. So they shoot up the whole fucking building with, like, you know, they've got a flamethrower and miniguns and, like, bombs and stuff. And D'Artagnan, like, who is handcuffed, runs and jumps out of the window and just barely makes it onto the boat, but has to be caught by, like, one of the others. Because it's literally the scene from The Matrix, do you know what I mean? Like, just beat for beat, basically. Because no original ideas here. And then they fly away, while Orlando Bloom, like, screams out of the window and shakes his fist. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've just stolen his lemon tree. And then it's revealed, right, that, like, they didn't actually break into the vault because they didn't need to break into the vault, because they knew that just by coming to break into the vault, Mila Jovovich would move the diamonds. And so they've had, like, we saw her, like, get in a carriage and tell the driver, like, get as far away from here as possible. And twist, the driver was James Corden, and they now hook the carriage, which conveniently has 4 fucking eye bolts on the roof. They hook the carriage with like a winch. Yeah, a winch conveniently stored in the bottom of the Sky Galleon
airship.
Which does imply that airship has a hovering capacity.
That airship is the hovercraft from the Matrix, which also has a hatch at the bottom with a winch. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like they were already stealing the fucking, like, helicopter escape. They thought, oh, hang on, why not just have this as well while we're on the way out the door? And that's the heist. So they didn't even need to go near the Tower of London. They could have just, like, do you know what I mean? Waited for the coach to get it. They could have all been in the woods waiting for her to arrive by coach and then just mugged her. You know what I mean? But instead they had to steal an airship and set the Tower of London on fire.
Yeah, and presumably start or inflame some kind of war between France and Britain.
Yeah. They could have done this a lot sneakier, but then they wouldn't have an airship, I guess. But then
and you
also,
couldn't set up a
if they didn't have the airship, if they didn't have the airship, they wouldn't get like, you know what I mean, skyjacked by another airship,
an even bigger airship. What I mean?
An even bigger airship, more heavily armored, like, and driven by Mads Mikkelsen, who you have to wonder, like, does he have a radar? How did he know that they were, like, even in an airship, let alone where they were? Like, as far as he knows, they got on a boat.
They've got a psyker on board. They've got all the, like, you know, skull motifs and everything. You know,
I think the big problem here is that they were just letting the fucking, like, characters in the film watch the dailies. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then they're all just hang on a minute. I was gonna go to the port and wait for these guys to get off a boat, but now I've got a better idea. I'm gonna hijack the airship that we were told to the airship that Cardinal Richelieu was told to build 3 days ago, which is apparently complete.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Cardinal's Richelieu's the airship does have a fucking...
Changing the name of the group chat.
No, it does have a fucking sick, like, fucking, what's it called again? The front piece, the ornamentation. Like a fucking sick, nasty, like, Cardinal skull with, like, with a sight and a crossbow. It is fucking sick nasty. If I was Christopher Waltz, I would do this too.
It also does lead into that 40k vibe as well. Like, it is very cool.
Yeah. The only way it would have been
all
better
it's missing is a church.
Yeah.
If instead of a scythe, he had a little trumpet. Do you know what I mean? That would be a much cooler skeleton, I think.
Yeah. Fucking, anyway, you just get your fresh new airship, done and dusted. It turns out the fucking gene stealers are in the fucking basement already. It's really annoying.
But yeah, they turn up in an airship and, like, in what seems like a fucking, do you know what I mean? Absolutely unnecessary way to do things. They've tied the Queen's fucking, like, handmaiden to the fucking skeleton to Skeletor at the front of the boat.
Yeah.
Which,
well,
like,
so they can't shoot at it. It's like if you shoot at fucking cool Land Raider, then you're going to shoot the girl that the protagonist loves, apparently.
Yeah. No, but that would also be true if she was stood on the deck with them.
Right, but it's less dramatic.
I would argue.
It's less
argue it would be hard. It would be harder to shoot at them if she was stood on the deck amongst their soldiers rather than, like, sellotape to the very front of the boat where you don't have to aim. Do you know what I mean? As long as they don't pop the balloon, they could just kill everyone on the deck and then, like, rescue her. But
I really enjoyed the complete lack of peril that she appeared to be in. Like, it was full on, like, the cinematic equivalent of cam.jpg.
She looks absolutely fucking, like, she signed on to be in, like, a fucking period drama and not, like, a fucking fetish production where she's just, like, fucking hanging off the front of a boat with her knockers out, like, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, that shit was gratuitous. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, they decide to do a fucking, like, prisoner transfer, and wouldn't you know it, the sky boats have gangplanks. Like,
yeah,
because
and also they can,
a lot of
like,
up there.
Connect to each other, like, successfully. They can do, like, like fucking mid-air refueling to each other as stable as those things are.
Well, that was foreshadowed when Orlando Bloom said it handles like a dream earlier on. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a thing that they would say in 17th century fucking France, right? That things handled like a dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when
also,
everyone keeps making, like, everyone...
Also, you could smoke the balloon if you pull the handbrake.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking like they're in a fucking casino as well, don't they? Like, oh, it's dealer's choice. Like, okay. Is that a thing they said back then? But, yeah, like I say, they just, do you know what I mean? This was originally, the script for this was originally Ocean's 14, I assume.
Ocean 1714.
Ocean 1714. The skies are now battlefields. Yeah, all right, why not?
Yeah, so they swap D'Artagnan and the necklace for the fucking the woman who was imperiled. Allegedly, she looked bored, and who can blame her? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to do on the prow of a ship, right? Like, I guess.
Watch the dailies. That's why she looks so bold.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, they tied her to the front of the ship. She couldn't even do the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio King of the World thing, right? Like, could have at least left her arms free, let her enjoy herself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Those two have the least like fucking credible romance in human recorded history as well.
We've already
we've already done it.
No, but I mean, like straight up, right? Like when they have the meet cute during the sword fight, and he's like dispatching the head of the guards while chatting her up, and she's just like, "Yeah, okay, you're a fucking dick, mate." And then he tries to chat her up again at the palace, and he's all like, "Look, I got invited to the palace," and she's like, "I live here, fuck yourself." And then, like, you know what I mean? And he's just like, "Okay, well, she's not interested." But then the minute she needs something from him, which is for him to take his fucking musketeer mates and go and rob the Tower of London, then she turns up and kisses him, and he's all like, "Oh, she does love me." And it's like, mate, I know you're from like fucking, do you know what I mean? I know you're from like rural France, but like, come on. Surely you can see when like someone's fucking playing you like that.
Fucking carrying your early modern printer over to her house. Yeah, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Can you just carry these printers to the Tower of London for me? And he's like, yeah. Yeah. So they fucking anyway, they trade prisoners, and then like Richelieu, like, because he's, you know what I mean, why people keep fucking like trusting him, I don't know, but he orders the fucking like his bigger boat with more guns to open fire. And so they get shot to shit, but then wouldn't you know, there's a thunderstorm, and they dive into the thunderstorm, and like, and he's on deck, and one of his crew goes like, "We can't follow them in there," and he shoots the guy, and then like, it
really is just like 40k.
Yeah, it really just just reskin it, guys. It would have been great.
Yeah, and then they get ambushed by the Musketeers in their like fucking completely wrecked airship. But they shoot up the fucking balloon and, like, throw bombs on the deck or something. And so...
Oh, no. The one critical weakness of an airship. The air.
Yeah.
Le Wrath du Can.
Nice. But yeah, so they, like, ambush it. They shoot, like, massive fucking holes in the balloon, and it somehow stays airborne for, like, another 20 minutes. But yeah, and they like fucking they ram raid it, crash it into like Notre Dame, or as D'Artagnan would probably call it, Notre Dame, and then like fucking, do you know what I mean? Like
real fucking coward shit, by the way, to not actually commit to the bit, because it looks like they're going to do a 9/11.
Yeah, it really does actually. Like,
but they just knock a tower off the top, don't they? But then like D'Artagnan and fucking not Richelieu, the other guy. Rochefort, yeah. They fall out and they get into a sword fight on top of a church, which is very hard to do badly, I would say. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's always a good time when two people sword fight on top of a church, and it's just boring as fuck.
And yeah,
but it's not without its comedy moments, like, because you know they're just fucking fighting and like they fall up like down the side of the church, and he has to do a fucking like sick dodge roll to get his sword back, and then. Like, he's getting the shit kicked out of him by fucking, like, Jim Rockford. And then he does a move which is so inexplicable where he, like, throws his sword up in the air and then, like, basically surrenders. And, like, fucking, do you know what I mean? Mads Mikkelsen's like, right, well, I'm going to fucking stab you now, you prick. And then, like, they both look up because they hear the sword falling, I guess. And they, like, both look up and he catches the sword and, like, disarms Rochefort and stabs him, and he goes like, "You should have apologized to my horse," and then lets him fall off the roof with his dad's family heirloom sword that's been handed down father to son across the generations, still sticking out of him.
And it's you can get that later. Cool. You can get it later. It's fine.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? The police will probably want to see it first.
You've got at least you've got at least like 10 minutes before his corpse despawns anyway.
Yeah. But then they like, you know, he's got the diamonds because he leaves the sword sticking in him and takes the diamonds out of his trousers. Because that's the other thing as well. They're on the roof and Mads Mikkelsen's got the diamonds and he's like, well, what's your plan to get the diamonds? And he's like, well, I'm going to kill you. And Mads Mikkelsen's like, huh. And then I'm going to put the diamonds down my trousers. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, mate, that cannot be comfortable.
Yeah, everyone's always wanted a sword fight with like royal jewels in their pants. That's really what they've always wanted.
He's done a whole sword fight on the roof of that fucking like cathedral with diamonds down the front of his trousers, and then he falls off the roof. CSI are going to think he was dragged behind a bike or something, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, where did you get all of this fucking like rash on his fucking crotch from? It's just looks like he's been cheese grated.
A Gordian knot of diamond, gold, and pubes.
Oh yeah. The Queen's got, like, that's the thing at the end of the film, the Queen's got the necklace on, and the King's like so happy to see that she hasn't given the necklace to Orlando Bloom, and it's like, okay, but surely there's going to be questions raised when he looks more closely at it. It's got a fucking Danish man's skin and hair all over it, you know what I mean?
I love how they can identify that it is a Danish man, in fact. That's like the level of tech they have. They've just nailed it.
Yeah.
Which does raise the question how there's a German cardinal running France. But
I know. Like I say, I think, like, based on the scene with fucking Dexter Fletcher and Diana Burnwood earlier, I think they maybe initially planned to have different accents signify different regions. You know what I mean? Like, Americans were rural France.
Yeah,
and like English people were Parisian, and then they realised, well, what are English people going to be? And they just went, oh, fuck it. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? How are we going to explain? How are we going to explain Mads Mikkelsen and Christoph Waltz? We're going to throw our hands up in the air and go, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Dexter Fletcher, just an acceptable casualty of the movie making process.
Americans, apparently, people from Gascony are American. I didn't realize that. Yeah. But there you go.
Yeah. So they make it to they crash the fucking
huge slam on the proud people of Gascony, but
damn. I mean, if anything, they should have been English. They were part of England for way longer than like any other part of France.
If they have a problem with it, they can take it up with the director of Resident Evil 9 or whatever he's doing.
Oh Christ, I hope not. I'm gonna get a friend complaining so much about that if that film exists.
Yeah. Anyway, the Musketeers crash the airship into the palace garden as the King's preparing for his party. The fucking handmaiden teleports off the ship into the palace to give the Queen the diamonds. Everyone disembarks, and and Richelieu's like, fucking guards, like, fucking kill those guys, while James Corden's stealing the buffet. And then the Musketeers like draw swords. Does D'Artagnan draw a sword at this point? Because whose sword would be my question. But then, like, the King comes out and goes like, "What's going on?" And they just, you know what I mean? Like, they just fucking bat the swords out the way and walk past the guards. And then, all right, we skipped the whole fucking thing here. So when Mila Jovovich has stolen the diamonds, she has a conversation with Christoph Waltz about how they don't trust each other.
Oh yeah, she wants like an insurance policy, like a
She wants a guarantee that he won't send SEAL Team 6 after her. So he writes the most cryptic fucking scroll you've ever seen. It's like the bear, like fucking Cardinal Richelieu's fucking like hereby declare.
I'm changing the name of the group chat.
Well, the episode name has to be one of these.
Boots, mate. Go on.
The episode name has to be one of these
people that just says,
names.
"I have a permit signed Ron Swanson."
Yeah, it literally says the bearer of this has done the thing that needed doing.
Exactly, Keir Starmer. Yeah. It's Keir Starmer all over it. It's changed the things that needed changing, and that was the change they brought about.
How is that supposed to get her out of trouble if he sends the fucking like guards after her?
But equally, how is that?
Presumably he would just he would just tell them she's got a bit of paper, just eat it. Do you know what I mean? Just throw it away.
No, like she would show the piece of paper to SEAL Team 6, and they would go, "Oh my god, what we're doing is illegal."
Well, but why though? Because she did the thing that needed doing. That could mean anything. Like, he could easily explain that away as like, well, yeah, I asked her to change some light bulbs in my fucking house in the Cotswolds, and then she stole the bees off the windowsill. So we're killing her for the bee thing. I want to be very clear. I rewarded her for the light bulbs, but I want her dead for the bees.
Yeah, I got her to raise taxes by 2%, and now I'm furious with her. So can we please get rid of her?
Yeah,
fucking getting the fucking Cotswolds assassin sent after you.
Yeah. How much does he charge hourly? You know what I mean?
Fuck.
But yeah, and then she, before like, because the Musketeers are going to kill her on the boat, like in the sky. She gives Athos the bit of paper. She's like, you might find a use for this. And then he takes her up onto the deck of the ship and he's going to shoot her. But she, get this, backflips off the boat to save him the sadness of having to shoot the woman he loved. I think we forgot to mention that they were.
Oh
in love,
yeah,
but
but
anyway,
it's
like they were.
such a and like one of the critical character motivations is that she betrayed him for Orlando Bloom because he was sexier. He was sexier.
Fair,
like
you would absolutely do that. Like, do you know what I mean? But she backflips off the boat into the channel from about like 2 miles high.
Yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it, really.
And he has the scroll then, right? And then he just hands that unopened to the king. The seal's still intact. You hear the king pop the seal and read it and go, "Uh-huh." And how did he know what it fucking said? Do you know what I mean? It might have said it could have been anything on there. It could have been like bank error in your favor, collect 10 francs. Do you know what I mean? Like he had not read that, and she did not tell him what it was when she gave it to him. And he just strides up there and hands it to the king. Like, I think this will explain everything. It's like, okay. Do you know what I mean?
What if it was just a shopping list? Like,
yeah. What if it was like just, haha, I stole your diamonds, you big twat? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just a nasty satirical cartoon of the king. Like,
yeah. Oh, hey, but yeah, and then Richelieu, like they say, but you see, Richelieu sent us to get you an airship. And the king's like, wow, that's so impressive. Why is it on fire? And they go, because fucking Jim Rockford crashed into it, the prick.
Yeah, we could only afford hydrogen, but the other airship had helium, so, you know.
Yeah. He doesn't question why Jim Rockford, like, was on the airship or where he got his own airship or, like, what, you know what I mean? Any of that.
Just very common technology, you know, at the time.
Yeah. And so Cardinal Richelieu lives to, like, you know what I mean, scheme another day.
Yeah,
and he offers the
airships at this point are basically like the fucking lime scooters of the early modern period. Like you could just fucking, you know.
Yeah, and so the king and the queen have a dance, and then like fucking
the world's most unlikable little twit has another kiss with the fucking lady in waiting. Whom was tied to the prow of the ship.
Yeah, and then like fucking James Corden steals like a whole fucking ham hock, and they all like just walk out of the party. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they do the whole one for all awful one party with the swords on top of each other. It's like, you know,
it's like always arrive late to a party in a crashed airship and then leave early. That's how you stay cool.
Wait, I'm writing this down. Wait, slow down. I can't write down how I'm supposed to go to this party on Friday. Hold on.
Yeah, and then James Corden says some fucking shit, and then they all tell him to shut the fuck up and walk off camera.
Great.
Leaving him to be what you assume the final shot and final line of the film. But twist, there's an extra scene where Orlando Bloom has fished Mila Jovovich out of the channel and rescued her on his boat, and is now sailing to France with about 80 ships and another fucking like 80 airships.
Yeah,
and the Parthian shot of this movie. The Parthian shot of this movie is that there might be a sequel.
Yeah, and then there wasn't because it was shit.
I kind of wish there was. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wonder where they were going with this.
I know, it's fair to say they wrote themselves into a fucking corner there, though, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? It's like George Lucas would have loved this shit, right? I bet he
did.
I bet he would have loved it.
He probably thought it was extremely romantic.
Everyone
knows, he was like, "Oh, this is a great romance."
Yeah,
actually,
I will tell
everyone
you.
Everyone knows you're supposed to start a film with war well declared, not end.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who did love this film. Bit of trivia I picked up on fucking the Wikipedia page. This film, and this is a direct quote from Wikipedia, was in Quentin Tarantino's top 11 films of 2011.
What the fuck is
anyone want to guess what number it was?
11?
Bearing in mind they specified top 11. It was actually the 12th.
Okay.
Because number 10 was a tie between two films, and that's how numbers work. So it was number 11.
I
the
guarantee it's because there was some level of foot in that last bit when she stepped over the fucking last trip.
That's all it took. That's all it took.
That's exactly what it was.
Straight into the top 11, right there.
Yeah, no, a woman got menaced and tied to a boat. Quentin Tarantino was front row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fucking bringing around Hollywood to see a But yeah, anyway, that's
an
the end of the
best
film.
jokes aren't getting kept in.
I know. Like I say, I was awake at 4 o'clock this morning. I am fucking burning over here. I've still got another episode to record. Dear. I'm going to have to take my fucking top off for the next episode, I think.
Yeah, exactly. No, take the bottom off, Donald Duck it. Come on, motherfucker.
Everyone's super disappointed that it's a audio medium now. That's the saddest part now.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so that's the end.
Was a
no
film.
Moral.
Yep, an appropriate revenge for that fucking stupid GameStop film we watched.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Rob.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was a dog shit movie, but you know, much like with the GameStop movie, turns out I had fun recording it.
The GameStop movie would have been
we made along the way.
GameStop movie would have been better if Ray Stevenson was in it. Let's be fair.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
If they'd gotten Ray Stevenson to say Diamond Hand a bunch of times, I would have clapped like a fucking seal.
Anyway, thank you, thank you, Sinan, for inflicting not a book on yourself, but this piss instead.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. I barely had to pay attention to it.
We will see you back here in 20 episodes' time for whatever the fuck it was you said earlier. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I've said a lot of bullshit in this recording, so...
Fuck. Well...
Yeah. Sadly, it was recorded.
Yes, so now you're gonna hold me to it, and I'm gonna get punished for my hubris yet again. How does this keep happening to me, the protagonist of reality? One can only guess.
Hoisted by my own earshot.
Yeah. So, do you want to do some self-promo?
Yeah. I don't know when the episode will be out, but there's a good chance that when this is out, I'll have finally done the video I'm doing about Mass Effect and why Mordin Solus is the best companion character in any video game, actually, and it's not even fucking close.
Is there anything in there about husks?
Probably. I probably will mention husks at some point. I do go on an extended rant about Hayden Christensen again in that weirdly the script has written. So
he's got it coming, quite frankly.
But yeah, that's youtube.com/SK That's the main thing I'm doing at the moment. I might be doing streams. I might do voice acting. I might do other stuff. Who knows?
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
For us, patreon.com/PraxisCast, you know the drill. £5 a month gets you 2 bonus episodes and Discord access. There's also streams available, which are Thursdays and Sundays, 7 and 6:30, respectively. That's twitch.tv/PraxisCast, and merch is available at praxiscast.tmail.com. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Arrivederci.
Sake. Right.
One for all and all for one. Musket hands are always ready. One for all and all for one. Helping everybody. One for all and all for one. It's a pretty story. Sharing everything with fun. That's the way to be.
No, I don't know why I did that either.